This is the baseline for every ambition, an empty lane and a cold morning. There are no spectators here, and no momentum yet. Most people have something they want to build, or a record they want to break. Having the idea is the easy part. It's the most common resource on Earth. The difficulty lies in moving from the thought to the first physical stride. You see this stall everywhere. It's the entrepreneur who keeps his business plan in a drawer for a year, or the runner who spends more time researching shoes than hitting the pavement. Many goals end right here. They don't fail because the plan was bad. They simply never began. The primary challenge isn't the distance of the race. It's the decision to stand at the line and start. When we feel unready, we retreat to places like this. We surround ourselves with notebooks and spreadsheets, convinced that if we just add one more detail, we'll be safe to start. This is the preparation trap. By spending weeks refining a plan, your brain experiences the satisfaction of working without you ever having to face the risk of a real-world attempt. We tell ourselves we're waiting for the right market conditions or the perfect technique. But while we wait for those conditions to align, the project remains exactly where it started, on paper. Excessive thinking isn't a sign of high-level strategy. It's a mechanism used to delay the discomfort of actually doing something that might not work. To break out, you have to move the work from the kitchen table to the street. There is no point in your development where a bell rings to tell you that you are now ready. That feeling of complete certainty is a fiction that doesn't exist in the real world. Breaking paralysis looks like this: hanging a hand-drawn flyer or making a sales call before you have the perfect script. It is the act of committing to a flawed public start. On the inside, you might feel like you're guessing, but on the outside, you've done something most people never do. You've turned an internal thought into an external reality. Momentum doesn't require a master plan. It only requires a single physical move that forces you to take the next one. Look at a lifter standing over a heavy bar. The longer he stares at the weight, the more his grip sweats and his heart rate climbs. This graph tracks that physical response. As long as you are in the planning phase, your anxiety continues to scale upward. Thinking about the difficulty of the task only reinforces your hesitation. But the moment his hands touch the bar and he begins the lift, the line drops. The mental noise is replaced by the physical requirements of the move. Moving is the only thing that actually lowers the fear. Even if the lift is clumsy, you've survived the attempt. That survival provides a practical confidence that no amount of theorizing could ever produce. After that first attempt, there's usually a moment of quiet. You realize you haven't changed the world yet. Your first mile will be your slowest. Your first business attempt will likely be full of visible errors. There are no medals awarded for just starting, but the goal of the first step isn't a trophy. It is simply to establish the fact that you are a person who shows up. When you prioritize moving forward over being perfect, you create a sustainable pace. This is the fuel that allows a single step to eventually become a habit. As weeks turn into months, these single, imperfect actions begin to stack. The shop floor, once empty, is now worn down by foot traffic. You see the evolution in the work itself. The weight that felt impossible a month ago is now part of a standard warm-up, simply because you refused to skip the days when you felt unready. Consistency changes the social landscape. When you show up at the track every morning at dawn, eventually other runners start showing up with you. Movement attracts company. Large-scale results aren't created by one giant leap. They are the result of a long, relentless chain of unpolished daily starts that eventually add up to something undeniable. We return to the exact same starting line where we first began, but this time the silence is finally gone. The people who actually build things or hit their targets aren't the ones who had it all figured out from the start. They are the ones who were willing to be seen starting before they were ready. Thinking about your goal will never give you the satisfaction of achieving it. You cannot think your way across a finish line. The plan was the easy part. The execution is the only thing that counts.